What is the body's ability to resist disease called?
Immunity.
Which system protects the body from pathogens?
Immune system.
Which type of immunity is present from birth?
Innate immunity.
Which immunity develops after exposure to an antigen?
Adaptive immunity.
Which cells are mainly responsible for adaptive immunity?
Lymphocytes.
Which blood cells defend the body against infection?
White blood cells.
Which cells produce antibodies?
B lymphocytes.
Which cells directly kill infected cells?
Cytotoxic T cells.
Which cells coordinate immune responses?
Helper T cells.
Which cells provide long-term immune memory?
Memory cells.
What is a foreign substance that triggers immunity called?
Antigen.
What protein specifically binds to an antigen?
Antibody.
Which organ produces most blood cells?
Bone marrow.
Where do B lymphocytes mature in humans?
Bone marrow.
Where do T lymphocytes mature?
Thymus.
Which organ filters blood and supports immunity?
Spleen.
Which structures filter lymph?
Lymph nodes.
Which is the body's first physical barrier against pathogens?
Skin.
Which secretion helps destroy microbes in the stomach?
Hydrochloric acid.
Which enzyme in tears helps destroy bacteria?
Lysozyme.
Which cells engulf and destroy pathogens?
Phagocytes.
What is the engulfing of pathogens called?
Phagocytosis.
Which white blood cells are major phagocytes?
Neutrophils.
Which cells can develop into macrophages?
Monocytes.
Which response commonly causes redness and swelling?
Inflammation.
Which cells become plasma cells?
B lymphocytes.
Which cells secrete large amounts of antibodies?
Plasma cells.
Which antibody is most abundant in blood?
IgG.
Which antibody is produced first during an infection?
IgM.
Which antibody is mainly found in body secretions?
IgA.
Which antibody is mainly associated with allergies?
IgE.
Which antibody can cross the placenta?
IgG.
Which immunity involves antibody production?
Humoral immunity.
Which cells are mainly responsible for humoral immunity?
B cells.
Which cells are mainly responsible for cell-mediated immunity?
T cells.
Which T cells destroy infected body cells?
Cytotoxic T cells.
Which T cells activate other immune cells?
Helper T cells.
Which cells respond rapidly to a previously encountered antigen?
Memory cells.
Which response occurs after the first exposure to an antigen?
Primary response.
Which response is faster after repeated exposure?
Secondary response.
Which organ is the primary site of T cell maturation?
Thymus.
Which tissue is the primary site of B cell maturation?
Bone marrow.
Which organ removes old red blood cells and filters blood?
Spleen.
Which fluid circulates through lymphatic vessels?
Lymph.
Which cells are abundant in lymph nodes?
Lymphocytes.
Which lymphatic organ is located behind the sternum?
Thymus.
Which structures help trap pathogens entering through the mouth?
Tonsils.
Which protein system helps antibodies destroy pathogens?
Complement system.
Which proteins interfere with viral replication?
Interferons.
Which cells can kill infected cells without prior sensitization?
Natural killer cells.
Which preparation provides protection against a specific disease?
Vaccine.
Which immunity develops after vaccination?
Active immunity.
Which immunity is provided by ready-made antibodies?
Passive immunity.
Which immunity develops after recovering from an infection?
Natural active immunity.
Which immunity is transferred from mother to baby?
Natural passive immunity.
Which substance is administered during vaccination?
Vaccine.
Which vaccine protects against tuberculosis?
BCG.
Which vaccine protects against poliomyelitis?
OPV.
Which vaccine protects against measles, mumps and rubella?
MMR.
Which vaccine protects against diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus?
DPT.
What is an exaggerated immune response to a harmless substance called?
Allergy.
What substance triggers an allergic reaction?
Allergen.
Which chemical is commonly released during allergic reactions?
Histamine.
Which cells release histamine during allergic reactions?
Mast cells.
Which antibody is mainly involved in allergic reactions?
IgE.
What occurs when the immune system attacks the body's own cells?
Autoimmunity.
Which disease is an autoimmune disorder?
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Which autoimmune disease affects insulin-producing cells?
Type 1 diabetes.
Which disease is an autoimmune disorder of the nervous system?
Multiple sclerosis.
What is a weakened immune system called?
Immunodeficiency.
Which virus causes AIDS?
HIV.
Which immune cells are mainly attacked by HIV?
Helper T cells.
What does AIDS stand for?
Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome.
Which test is commonly used to screen for HIV antibodies?
ELISA.
Which condition can occur after organ transplantation?
Graft rejection.
Which immunity acts immediately against pathogens?
Innate immunity.
Which immunity is specific to particular antigens?
Adaptive immunity.
Which cells produce antibodies?
Plasma cells.
Which cells mature in the thymus?
T cells.
Which cells mature in the bone marrow?
B cells.
Which organ filters lymph?
Lymph nodes.
Which organ filters blood and supports immunity?
Spleen.
Which is the largest lymphatic organ?
Spleen.
Which antibody is most abundant in blood?
IgG.
Which antibody appears first in a primary immune response?
IgM.
Which antibody is abundant in breast milk?
IgA.
Which immunity is produced by vaccination?
Artificial active immunity.
Which immunity is provided by an antiserum?
Passive immunity.
Which cells engulf foreign particles?
Phagocytes.
Which white blood cells are usually first to reach an infection site?
Neutrophils.
Which cells are important in defense against parasites?
Eosinophils.
Which cells release histamine during inflammation?
Basophils.
Which protein helps defend cells against viruses?
Interferon.
Which immune cells kill virus-infected and tumor cells?
Natural killer cells.
Which cells provide faster responses to repeated infections?
Memory cells.
Which barrier prevents many pathogens from entering the body?
Skin.
Which enzyme in tears has antibacterial action?
Lysozyme.
Which condition involves an excessive response to an allergen?
Allergy.
Which disease severely weakens the immune system?
AIDS.
Which system protects the body from disease-causing organisms?
Immune system.